Alright, so if you guys remember a while back, I reviewed these tiny little RC cars. They're from Hobby Porter. I think they're also related to Radio Master. Radio Master is one that sent me these originally. And, 1/76 scale, proportional steering. Yeah, pretty awesome. These were a lot of fun, although I haven't been driving these around much lately. And since then, they have sent me an updated version. This one here is the C71, which is actually, I think it's a little bit bigger than the original. And I haven't had time to actually review this yet, and all of a sudden they have updated to the C73. So now we have two of these like race car type of 1/76 scale RC cars. And I think the only major difference is, that's the C71's bigger, of course, and we have a few different race car models and colors here. I think I've got the red one, and then the C73, you can see I got a gray, also this race car style. Not sure if there's different colors or not, but I believe on this updated version they have a different throttle curve, so it'll drive a little bit differently. So let's go ahead and unbox these and see what we got. All right, I'm going to unbox the C71 first, so get a manual. Get a quick start guide. Here's the car itself. So comparing it to the old one, it's a little bit bigger, as mentioned before. So it's quite a bit longer, and the wheelbase is longer, as well as the wheels are bigger as well. You get a couple of spare body canopies, so you can paint these if you want. And here's the controller. It looks like it's slightly updated. Still slides in. That's just kind of a nice feature. So you can break it down and put it into a smaller box. This does have, looks like, yeah, this USB Type-C adapter here. It pops out and you can plug the car in here and charge it. I think charge it through the batteries that are in the transmitter. And still has the USB-C for the charging of the battery. And otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. Trigger, remote, of course, and thumb wheel. Okay, so that's everything. So they have also the USB-C cable for charging. We'll see what the C73 looks like. And we get a manual again. Another quick start guide. And here's what the car looks like. It's a little different. The wheels are smaller again. Maybe it's related to the throttle. The car body is also a little bit skinnier, like it's not as wide as the C71. So you can see here, the C71 is the red one, and then the C73 is the gray one. Not as wide, the C73. The wheelbase, yeah, the wheelbase is about the same, but you can see that the wheels are a little bit smaller on the C73, so I think it has a lot to do with the new throttle curve. And again, you get two spare body canopies for painting if you want different colors. USB Type-C cable again. And we've got the same remote. Just slides in, and USB-C plug there for charging. It looks like the C71 and C73, the remotes are the same. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll test out both of these. I'll do the C71 first, and then we'll do the C73, and I'll give you my thoughts on the differences between these. Also, how these compare to the originals that I reviewed. I think that was like 6 months ago. Alright, so a few more things I want to mention about these remotes in the cars that are different from the first generation. So the remote's obviously very different. There is a throttle limit here, 20, 50, and 100%. And at 100%, these are much faster. 50% say slightly faster than the first generation. At 100%, it's ridiculously fast, and it will just flip over if you turn too fast, especially this one. There's two more buttons here inside channel 3 and channel 4. This is a button, and this is a slider, like a switch. So if you press channel 3, there's a light that turns on in the bottom here. And then channel 4 is the headlight, so you can turn it on. or off, and also is the tail light here. So turn that back on. So that's on, this is the C71. The same thing on the C72 on 100% throttle. It hits ridiculously fast. And channel 3 here turns on the lights on the bottom. Got these green lights. So it'll look pretty cool if you're driving around these at like kind of a dark area. It turns that on and off. And then channel 4 is the headlight. Permanently on. I think like the middle, like auto. I think if it's dark, it'll turn on, and then turn this off. So this, channel 4 will turn on and off the headlights and the brake lights or the parking lights in the back. And then this one here, the C73, the red lights in the back here will, when you reverse, they actually, yeah. When you, so this one here, this one behaves a little bit differently. So when you're on the trigger throttle and you're going forward and you reverse, it doesn't reverse right away, it actually brakes. And then on the other ones, it just reverses. So let me just check here. This one is the C71. Oh, okay, this is the same thing. So basically forward, then brake, the light turns on, and the second time you go reverse, it'll reverse. So when you actually hit the reverse the first time, it just hits the brake. So you have the forward, then reverse, and then the second time it'll actually go into reverse. The first generation, if you just go into reverse, it just reverses. It doesn't actually do this. So on this one, yeah, so forward, reverse is the brake, and then reverse. So the little brake light will turn on. It's kind of cool. Alright, so I'm going to try the red car first. This is the C70. So it is definitely faster. I haven't driven these in a long time. So I'm going to adjust the steering trim. It's a little too much on the default, and I'm on the 50% throttle. So let's just give you an idea. Here's 20% throttle. So this is for like these kind of smaller tracks, especially if you're just starting out. You probably want to go 20% throttle just to have a little bit more control. And actually, I'm actually going faster at that than 50%. So at 50%, you get a lot more speed. Whoa, yeah. So I'm not even full throttle here. Whew. It's bouncing all over the place. So the throttle feels the same as the first gen. Kind of an on or off kind of thing. Can drive a little slower. Getting a little bit more trim here. So you can see I got partial throttle here. And then go then you go full, but then you lose control a lot easier. But here's 100%. It just goes, it's going to go kind of crazy. So let's go like slower here and then speed up. So I think the throttle curve might be useful on the C73. Yeah. So if you like having variable throttle, at 100% you have a lot more leeway or precision. off the truck. So I'm going to go back to 50%. So this does take a little bit of practice. A lot of practice with these little cars. Bouncing all over the place. Alright, I'm getting a little bit better. Done that straightaway. The steering is not easy. Reverse. Okay, so let's try the C73 and see what's different. Alright, so default settings, 50% throttle. Yeah, the throttle is not as sensitive. So instead of like, sort of like, oh, if you go full throttle, you get like instant full speed, it kind of ramps up. I think my problem is the steering. Okay, I need a little bit more steering trim. It's like having enough steering trim and not enough steering trim. Okay, this one is definitely more controllable. So I'm full throttle here the whole way. So some people prefer to just have full throttle and just deal with the steering. But this is the max speed at 50% throttle. Yeah, this is way more controllable. I think the steering has improved in this one as well. And let's go to 100%. Whoa! Okay, that was nuts. Wow, thing is fast. Oops. Okay, so actually 100% throttle might be kind of interesting. Because you can, with the throttle curve, you don't have like that super jump right off the bat. So you can drive it a little more controlled and speed up on the straightaways and slow down. So getting a little used to the steering on this different throttle curve. Yeah, it's like you almost have too much than you need, and then you don't have enough sometimes, like in certain situations. So it's a little weird. So I think, but it definitely feels more controllable than the second generation. So I'm gonna try and speed it up here, and then try and go slower on these turns. Faster, slower. It's a little, yeah. Let's speed it up. Whoa. It takes a lot of concentration. Actually, Just trying to do 100% throttle. This is nuts. It's kind of hard to do. So I'm going to go back to 50% throttle. I think I prefer just holding it on full throttle. I think on a larger track, the ability to change your speed might be more useful on straightaways. But this is a really short track. Okay, so that's going to do it for this video. Yeah, these are super fun. Check out the links down in the video description. Also, if you're wondering where I got the track, I'll link that down in the video description as well. Talk to you guys later.